Mostly the question has been how the land reform was successful, what change did it bring in. How will you address this question? Most of the mains question on land reform has been these type of macro questions. They are not asking about one land reform, they are asking in totality. Mostly question यही रहा है कि कैसे improve किया है और how they have not succeeded in improving. How will you attempt this question? What is the approach for this question? What could be the approach? The introduction. How much land has been redistributed, okay? Or what else could you write? Small and marginal farmers. What else? West Bengal or Assam. See, the first point which the question is asking you, how land reforms help to improve. That means before land reforms the situation was not good. So first introduction you can write the, remember what and why. You can write why the question has been asked. That means small and marginal farmers before land reforms were in a bad situation. You can talk about the situation of land holding at 1947. How it was skewed in the hands of only few people. 58% of the families were working only on 16% of the land. 20% of the agricultural families were poor, no land. So how the situation of land holding was poor. Then in the connecting paragraph, before you write how it will improve, in brief, you write about what exactly were land reforms in India. You can in very brief in 2 lines write that India started with land reforms by abolishing intermediaries, by providing ownership right to tenants, by introducing land ceiling. These are the 3 major land reforms that happened. The other 2, consolidation and cooperatives, are not land reforms but agrarian reforms. Land ka change of ownership yahi ho raha hai sirf. So in 2 lines you can write what exactly the land reforms were. Then in the next part you can write how it improved the situation. And then how will you conclude? Just telling you the brief approach. How will you conclude this answer? नहीं, वो जो सक्सेसफुल हुआ हाउ इम्प्रूव्ड यहां लिखोगे ना. जहां पे सक्सेसफुल हुआ हाउ इम्प्रूव्ड इन सम पार्ट्स, वो तो यू विल एड्रेस इन द बॉडी. You will talk about all land reforms. You can give example of Kerala, you can give example of West Bengal, you can give example of Jammu and Kashmir. So you will mention that here, but how will you conclude? That the question is centered around how to improve the socio-economic condition. So after land reform what should be done? तो land तो दे दिया, improve हुई थोड़ी situation, उसके बाद क्या करना है? उसके बाद you need to provide resources to work on the land. उसके बाद you need to collectivize the farmer in terms of cooperatives to improve the productivity. So what next should be done to improve the socio-economic condition? You have to write the way forward on improving the socio-economic conditions. See, one thing you have to be very careful here. You do not have to mention that land reforms were a failure. Question वो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. Most of the answers which people have written here, they have written that हुआ तो था but इतने अच्छे से नहीं हुआ था. वो हमने पूछा ही नहीं आपसे. We know अच्छे से नहीं हुआ था. Question ने simple चीज पूछी है, how did they improve? So the question has already established they improved. So read the question carefully, because land reforms we have read in a way that most of the land reforms were a failure. So we talked about how they were a failure. So if the question is asking how it improved, you should not say that it did not improve. तो फिर तो आपका क्वेश्चन ही नया बन गया. There you are going to get 1 mark. So you are not going to get anything. Read the question carefully, how it improved the socio-economic. Anywhere you don't have to mention that it was a failure. ये question failure के ऊपर जा ही नहीं रहा है. You just have to mention what was the situation, how land reforms changed the situation, and what next can be done to change the situation. You don't have to say abolition of zamindari हुआ but अच्छे से नहीं हुआ. Land ceiling हुआ, but people did not get land. A lot of people have gone in that direction. That is not the answer. Read the question carefully and approach it like this. Is this clear? 2021 the question appeared, 2022 नहीं आया, तो 23 आएगा. Also, prelims also started asking question on land reforms.